I don't have to know you to love you. I immediately fell in love the first time I met you. Always looking forward to breathe in the air around you ever since. My big box of crayons. The reflection of all the colors within you is undiscovered beauty. Still, I don't have to know you to love you.
Suriname has become is what it is now. Because in our culture, the indigenous people's culture, there are rules, unwritten rules still. When we enter this place, we know it is nature, it is not our private property, and we have to respect everything around us. In my community, in my indigenous people system, we do not talk about a piece of land. We talk about a communal land which nobody has bought, but we have received that from our Creator, and everything within that piece of land, everybody has to use for their survival, so for their subsistence.
I am a native Indian, so the jungle is everything to us. It's our pharmacy, it's like our supermarket. Whatever we need from the jungle, we can always go out and get it. We do it in a respectable way. Let's say if we have like 20 trees in a small surrounding, we're not going to cut all 20 trees in this small surrounding because they're all here. We're gonna use just a couple and leave the other. But if the forest has been destroyed, it's gonna be harder for other native people.
When I'm Paramaribo and I'm trying to catch some sleep, then you hear all these cars are passing by, or the neighbors is thinking about, okay, let me have a nice party with music I don't like, till what 3 o'clock a.m. Okay, so you cannot fall asleep. And here, if you hear the howler monkeys, oh, nice, okay. Or you're near a rapid and you hear all the waters falling, like, okay, I can sleep next to it. It's different.
The new government came into power in 2010, they asked the question, what happened to the Central Suriname Nature Reserve? How did it fail to contribute to Suriname's development? In trying to answer that question, I learned what was happening. I learned that this city that I'm living in is really kind of gone. I mean, this city, along with a couple of others, is destined to kind of disappear, or certainly become unlivable to a great extent. We are the second most threatened country in Latin America and Caribbean due to sea level rise. And a lot of that is not necessarily because it'll be worse here than other places, but because our economic infrastructure is all on the coast. Like everything is happening on the coast, right here, about the mouth of the river, right by the ocean. So I discovered first off that the city I grew up in is doomed. And at the same time, I learned that we're the greenest country on earth. Like we have the most forest cover of any country. We contribute the most per capita in terms of taking carbon out of the air, right? Our per capita carbon absorption is the highest of any country in the world. So this is really unfair situation. First off, we're contributing to a solution, but we're pretty much doomed to be one of the first to really kind of suffer a lot of what's happening. So all of those things together triggered me the question, like, what am I going to do? I mean, after I do this assignment, am I going to go back to private sector and just try to earn a living? If I do that, how am I going to look my daughter in the eye 20, 30, 40 years from now? And when she asks the question, Dad, what did you do?
I did my bachelor thesis on the impact of gold mining on water beetles. There are certain species of aquatic beetles that are can be used as indicator species. So that means they are very pollution sensitive. So for instance, if you find those species in a certain area, then you know that the water is as a good water quality. So not for us to drink, especially, but also just to support life in that case. Then the same goes for frogs, for example. Frogs have semi permeable skin, which means they are really directly affected by the environment. If it changes, even if it's just 1 degree that it changes, that they will be the first to notice that. And then for us, it's a sign, it's a warning sign. So I think we're lucky to have those species and look at them and study them and then understand how our environment is changing. For me, I have the connection to nature, I have the connection to conservation, why it is important. And because most people don't have this experience, they don't go outside, they don't experience how it is, as the example you gave, how cooling and how satisfying it is to walk in the rain just to get wet. If you don't understand something, if you don't feel it, experience it, you don't know the word of it, and then you don't know why you should protect it. So in order to protect it, to protect ourselves, actually, we have to experience it.
The sounds, those different sounds when I'm at your side. When I close my eyes, putting together every melody, creating a symphony that sets my mind to rest.
It so happened that I love the forest, really. And you see the way the trees going. I have the feeling that they are saying hello. It is so beautiful, so lovely, so nice. I feel it within my soul.
Het bos is leven. I think the forest is the base of our existence. Most of the things we use, we know nowadays, are in some way derived from the forest. But I think it's more close to us than we realize and we would like to admit, actually.
As you watch and kind of open yourself to it, you see more and more. And as you sit still and allow it to kind of come in, you could walk through it and just see this haze of green. But if you allow yourself to really stand still and experiencing it, it becomes this wealth of life. But it takes you taking the time and opening yourself up to it. Otherwise, it'll be closed to you.
Well, to tell you the truth, for me, it's like my home. That's all. I feel right at home here, better than in the city. Doesn't matter if it's here or in Peru and Costa Rica. Where there is jungle, where's rainforest, I just feel at home.
The warmth of the energy over my body on a clear sunny day is as fascinating as the raindrops on cloudy days, because some beauty is still undiscovered. When the sun goes down and darkness takes over, aware but afraid I will never be. I don't need to know all of you to keep my love for you.